So I want to take a few minutes and just show you some of the perils of using just general search engines and of using Wikipedia. When we use a free search engine, we have no guarantee that what we'll access will be high quality, that it will be truthful, that it will be checkable, that it will be expert. And so when you're doing academic research, it's best to use something that you know you can trust. And that's why I strongly encourage, just short of require, you to use the BCTC online library, because I know that at that source you will find good information. So let me show you some problems with just a general search. So I'm going to this was a Google search. I typed in malepregnancy.com. I have seen this website before, and I mean, it looks tremendous. My goodness, you know, there's the today live image. It has the date on it. It's counting things. It has the time, so counting things down. Has a picture of the man on the front of the Time magazine. Has some video archive, although when we click on that, we see that, okay, so there are some links that we could access. We can look at this and view these different covers. Find some articles, interesting page not found. When we click on the CNN interview, some other things there with to read an article from Yahoo. Interestingly enough, it can't be found. That's because this whole thing is a hoax. This is, let me see for today's journal if there's anything. Okay, it will be back online shortly. Well, isn't that convenient? This is a website that a man made when he was applying for a job, showing what he could create. And so he put together this website, and it's just tremendous. It's so professional and so attractive and just very appealing. And so you know, we see it and we think that it's authentic, but it is not. And so there's nothing here to tell us. There's nothing in great big letters saying hoax or fake news or whatever. There's nothing on here to indicate that. And so we just have to use our own judgment. And a lot of people would be tricked by this and would use this and think that it was accurate. And that's happening more and more and more in our culture today, that just because we see something on the internet or we hear something on a particular network, we think that it must be true, and then we don't go to the trouble to do our own homework and find out where they got their information and who their sources were and whether they're reliable and whether they're biased, whether they're truthful, whether they're checkable. So we have to do that kind of research because this source is an absolute hoax. So additionally then, the problem with Wikipedia, when we go into Wikipedia, and again, I love Wikipedia just for my own general knowledge. It's just a free encyclopedia, but we have to be aware that there are limits to it. And here are the primary limits. I'm going to search for our college. And there we go. So I'm going to find the page about our college. Here are the real problems with this. In this upper left-hand corner, because this is a free encyclopedia, it has limitations. It is not necessarily trustworthy. We get what we paid for. We might get good information, but we might not. And then the biggest problem with it is this edit button, because anyone can click the edit button and can go in and add or take away information. And so I just like to go in here and change information on this. All right, so I can make this note that Kathy Swango is the favorite professor at college according to a student poll, and I can publish those changes, and there it is. There's my information on the page. And so there is no way of knowing unless you look down at the sources, at the references, to see other information, where they got their information. There's no way to check this. Many times there'll be information, they say citation needed. BCTC has a robust online education program. How do you define robust? There need a citation for that. You can't quote this. You can't cite this because there's no documentation of that. Online students come from all over the world. Says who? Where's the source for that? Provide me some data. Provide me some statistics. And so throughout the article and on many pages, there's information like that that isn't documentable, that isn't checkable. And so you just want to make sure that you have references on the page. So this says, we could go to the website, and we go there and we would, would find some of the information that they have cited there. But then instead of using Wikipedia, use the website, because that's going to be the better source. And so that's just some key information for us as we are doing research. So I hope that I have convinced you that just doing a free search is not your best bet when you're doing academic research, when you're doing research where you want to be believed and you want to have credible information.